that respect for the office of the prime minister is not about idolizing. I heard a girl talking about bro God and suggesting that God is angry with Jamaica because they call him broken. What arrant nonsense. What arrant nonsense. What does bro God means? What does bro God means? That somehow is because the affectionate name of bro God is used why God is angry and send hurricane because the Jamaican people are idolizing Holy. No, you think I am idolizing Andrew Holy? No, no such thing. Oh, lady, please go on, find something to do. Stop foolishness. It is to recognize the importance of the institution and the role it plays in governance. As we speak, the chief servant of Jamaica is on the international stage, representing every single Jamaicans, including you filthy mouth ones that are sending him up under his mother. He's there speaking up on your behalf. When the Prime Minister stands at the United General, he's now a cop. He's not there as a Labour Party leader. He's there as the Prime Minister of Jamaica, and that includes Mark Golding. Wholeness is Golding's Prime Minister. And when Mark Golding stood up on the debate stage and called him Andrew, what is it that Golding is saying to his followers, to his supporters, that this man must not be respected? He's Andrew. It's about showing respect for the democratic process, the rule of law, and the principles of leadership. In the church, we call our ministers reverend. Reverend. Reverend Dr. Damian Smith. We call them apostle. We call them evangelists. We call them prophets. The man who leads the country is the Prime Minister. And you don't become so familiar that your familiarity brings you down to the level where you come on social media and tell the Prime Minister to SYM, and the society accepts that as acceptable. Never. Never. It is getting out of hand. Melissa. Having some problems here. Not surprised. Anytime it get hot, you get all type of calls, eh? All type of things are happening. Good God Almighty. The devil is a liar. Now, what type of society are we building where our children are learning that they must show no respect for authority? Our children are growing up in a society where the name Andrew of the country is despised. I'm not going to hate him so. I'm not going to hate him so. And what him do? You know, I did a program on elitism and classism to show the divide between the power struggle in the country. And what Andrew do them so? Our children are not growing up to respect authority. They're not growing up to respect institutions. And the democratic process in Jamaica is under threat. Because when the leader of the country is so disrespected and disregarded, then it threatens the fundamental of Jamaica. We are on the brink. We are on the brink of a social unrest. It is a meltdown on social media. This country is on the brink of a social unrest. What is happening on social media is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. We have gone too far. We have come too far, and now we have gone too far. It is crucial for the society as a whole, and I call upon the church to step in and to say something about this. For the society to promote social cohesion, stability, and progress. Because the world is watching us. And how we conduct ourselves, especially in this crisis, speaks volumes about our values, about our morals, about our principles. You don't know me. then how are you entitled to come up on social media, come call people batty man? You never know them. Are you in a relationship with them? Are you them a batty? Huh? Because the only way you can know that for a fact, if it are you, it must be you. We have gone too far. And it's not a joke. We have taken this thing too far. And I'm going to tell you this. Some people are not going to tolerate it. You know, go on till you don't run into the wrong people and disrespect the wrong people. Because I know everybody can't take it. It will go too far now. The world is watching us. And in times of crisis like this, it speaks volumes about our values, ethics, and principles. By showing respect for the office of the Prime Minister, we demonstrate our commitment to democracy. It is the democracy that you are threatening. It has nothing to do with wholeness. You crayfish. You have a head. You don't have a brain. You don't understand that it is not the individual that you are threatening. It is your very survival. Your individual survival comes under threat because you are injuring the very process by which you survive. Your own survival becomes threatened when you stand up and disrespect the Prime Minister because you think you are disrespecting wholeness. But it's not wholeness that you are disrespecting. You do not regard the very country that gives birth to your existence. You don't love Jamaica. You don't care about Jamaica. That's what you are doing. And you know, I don't want to make this racist, but I could. Because it's a certain class of people that do it, or classes. And when you examine the class of people, you could say something about that, but then that would put me in a little bit of a hot water, eh? Our commitment to democracy and a stable democracy and good governance, that's what we are threatening. That's what we are tearing down. And this country is on the brink of social unrest if this is not brought to some semblance of order. We must begin a discussion on what is allowed and what is not allowed. Where is the line drawn? There has to be a place that you don't cross. You don't get up into people's bedroom. People's sexuality has nothing to do on social media. They want to be homosexuals, leave that to them and their God. That's not none of your business. Who is questioning who you bring up into your bedroom? Yeah? And you have no evidence, but you're calling people homosexuals. Yeah? And who they're with who and who they're with what and who they're with what. That is none of your business. And we think that this is acceptable behavior as a society, collectively. I am asking the question. We think that this is acceptable and we laugh at it and we comment and we share it. And you're not understanding the implications to the democracy. the scourge of online toxicity. It's toxic. The proliferation of hate speech is not free speech. There's a difference between free speech and hate speech. The trolling, the disrespect on social media is a pressing concern. And it is very disheartening to see how easily people can hide behind a false page and unleash vitriol, causing harm and perpetuating negativity. A man walking down the street, he's never been with a man in his life, and all of a sudden the society is hearing that he's a B-man. And what we need is not legislation. Because relying on law can be a double-edged sword. Because when you do that, you infringe, some will say, on free speech. But we have to shift the culture towards responsible online behavior. And the kind of hate speech that has been directed at the Prime Minister is unacceptable. I'm going to say that 3 times. The kind of hate speech, not free speech, the kind of hate speech that is being directed at this Prime Minister is unacceptable. The kind of hate speech being directed at the Prime Minister is unacceptable. It is getting out of hand. It sets a terrible precedent for the rest of the society. And you know, people tell me about karma. Comrades, be careful what you're doing. Be careful. Karma, be careful. Holness will not be Prime Minister for life, you know. At some point, he'll move on. Who will be the next Prime Minister? If we continue to allow this kind of vitriol to go unchecked, it can create a toxic environment that trickles down to every level in society. It's happening in the schools. Teachers are having difficulty disciplining their students because the standards have fallen. As the head of the nation, the man deserves respect. And I must tell you this. Of all the prime ministers in my lifetime, Holness has conducted himself the best in terms of his public utterances and behavior. The man's behavior has been nothing short of very, very respectful. Just watch him. I don't know his life personally. I don't care to know it. Tell me one thing that Holness has done publicly that you could criticize in terms of his decorum, in terms of his behavior, in terms of his mannerism, how he has conducted himself. Tell me if he has not conducted himself as an exemplary leader to the people of Jamaica. compared to others. One man, his microphone failed and him cuss bad word. You think Wholeness could do that or would do that? And what if it was him? You are free to criticize his policies. Criticizing Wholeness's policies, that's fair game. But personal attacks, insults, and hate speech, those are not acceptable. You can go on your live and criticize all you want to criticize. Criticize the generators. You don't agree with this, you don't agree with that, that is fair game. In a democracy, we encourage free speech. No problem with that. Politics is about ideas. You are free to criticize ideas. It is not fair game to get into the man's personal life. The insults are wrong. The attacks are wrong. That's not acceptable. And it's not about the Prime Minister. It's about the type of society, the kind of society we want to be. All of you listening to me, what type of Jamaica you want to live in? Do you want to live in a Jamaica where someone can just come up on here and say anything unverified, untested, untrue? They just say it out of their mouth and they are with no responsibility. You don't even know who they are. They can build 10-7 fake page and they spread all type of lies. That is a threat to the democracy. What type of society do we want to live in? What type of society are we leaving for our children? Do we want to be a society that tolerates hate speech and promotes anger and violence? Because I can tell you, as I speak to you, the labor rights are boiling. They don't like it. They are getting angry. And when people get angry, you know what is the next level? They move from anger to what? Why are we turning communities against communities? The division is not helping Jamaica. Do we want a society that values respect, empathy, and kindness? May I share a story with you? You know, I was coming home from school one day when I was attending primary school. And I'll never forget a lady named Miss Lola. I passed her and didn't say good evening. And by the time I reached home, a message had reached my mother that I had passed Miss Lola and didn't say good morning. And my mother sent me back about 1 mile to go back, go tell Miss Lola good evening. That is the Jamaica I grew up in. A Jamaica that valued respect. A Jamaica that valued empathy. You see all of this hurricane that blow? If it went blow in the 80s or 90s, all now Jamaica put back up. Every house in the community get back their roof. There would be, you know, they used to have Freemason. When I grew up, they had Masons. They used to call them Freemason. Not the lodge thing. But there were men in the community who were carpenters, masons, and they would give their service free. You just want to know, say, little rum there, rum. Yeah? And you put on a pot. And you line out your house. And men from the community come and put it up for free. the community spirit was what we grew up in. Yeah? Where, we have slipped very far. To now, we have any little boy, any little girl can come up on social media, put a microphone in them face, turn on them camera, and call the Prime Minister any name, say anything about anybody. And that is acceptable by the society. It's not laws we want, people. We need to establish social norms in Jamaica that promotes values. And we need to tell these people that it is wrong what they are doing. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. Because we soon will have our students going into our classrooms and telling our teachers the very same things. Our children will soon go to school and call teacher any name, and the teacher can't correct that student. That is the society that you want to build? That's the society that you are contributing to building? It's a slippery slope that we are on. And if we don't address this issue now, it will only get worse. We need to have a serious conversation about what we consider acceptable behavior online and what we don't. Don't tell me that this is okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. Caroline, you know, I had my brother, and I think we are way over time with this, you know, but for those who are joining us late,